Alright, so today we're working on Pugley. And, there's not much else to say other than, well, we're doing some wiring. I don't know how to do wiring, so this is going to be a learning experience for you and me. Oh, Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Alright, so far, this is my poor rendition of a wiring harness. Front fender's not attached, that's fine. Runs pretty good, actually. I would, open the doors if it didn't require me to move a shelf on the other side, take this off, push the doors open, and then afterwards hammer it shut, but still. There's no lights. Actually, my bad. Let me show you this bad boy. You're gonna be impressed. Oh, forgot that's broken. All right. You guys are gonna be so impressed by this. If it still works. If I didn't break it. Shoot. I broke it. So, looks like that's going to be added to the list too. Sweet. This is why I can't have nice fucking things. Wait a minute. What the hell? It's not even cranking right now. There's no way this battery went flat. Oh. I just realized I kind of left the ignition on for 2 days. Is my coil still okay? Still there. We're good. All right. Well, I think it's about time to start the poorly transferred time lapse. It's probably going to be just me cleaning, wiring, and figuring out what's going on. Let's hope I can figure this out. I cannot stress this enough. Do not follow this guide at all. I was a dumbass and decided to redo a wiring harness with no previous history of wiring. So yeah, don't try this at home. Even though I'm at home, you could probably burn your car down. So don't use this as a guide. Thank you. I'm a little mad. The time lapse that I used to take the hood off and get everything cleaned out, as you can tell, I've done all this, was ruined because the freaking camera lens that I used, I put it up there to get you a nice sky down view, covered the camera. Damn it. But, okay, for right now, we're just waiting on a couple things. The battery right now is completely dead. I actually left the ignition system on, as you guys know. But I've got all the little, wiring doodads and bit bobs. What's in this box? Nothing. But we got some wire and connectors and all sorts of fun jazz. Big old crescent wrench. You never know when you're going to need that. Miscellaneous hardware. Screws and such. Springs. Oops. Yeah, so far, I have everything I'd need to mount this fuse block right here. Hopefully, I don't burn this thing down because I love this thing. No, it might not seem like I do. This thing's great. All right, so I started to do a bit of wiring here. I know this was a very, very poor segue into a wiring job or just a time lapse in general, but I started to get a couple things done here, just going through it, checking over blinkers and such like that, figuring out where all the lights go. I figured out how to get the other headlight working towards the end, which was pretty cool. All right, just finished the lunch break after tearing out my hair for a little bit there. I'm going the wrong direction. All right, but we're going back down, working on Pugley some more. Got a bit of a time lapse before I came up for lunch, but even still, he's still kicking it. Oh God, no. I've gotten a few things actually working though. I got the other headlight working. I've got the windshield wiper that somehow I don't know how it started working. And my radio. I got my radio working. Now I've just got to figure out turn signals and brake lights and interior light. Oh, my interior fan is also working. Here, I got to show you guys. This is primo stuff right here, right? Little do you guys know, this bug was equipped with air conditioning. Ready for this? Broken still, Logan. Come on. You ready? Right here. Oh, 1 second. But it works. So, yeah. Oh, and I got this working. It turns on. Off. On. Off. On. Wow. Oh, and oh yeah, and radio. Proud of that. Ooh, I should probably fix that. I'll figure it out eventually. But I'm just going to give you guys a little rundown on what this beautiful piece of German engineering is, / a bit of American, because, from here forward, it's been cut off, shortened a little bit. The front end comes right around here. Hood comes down. These are all fiberglass fenders and such. You can actually see the line, if I had flash on or if you turn up your brightness. Should be like right around here of where the fiberglass front starts and the actual metal ends. But this beautiful thing right here, his name, Pugley. You know why? Looks kind of like a pug, and he's really fucking ugly. All right? Love him though. This is my baby. First car right here. I got this bad boy back in 8th grade. I was about 14 or 15. Since then, the motor and transmission have been out of it a couple times. That was really fun. Went through an internship. Learned basically every single thing I know about this car. I have touched every nut, every bolt, every valve, piston, ring, seal, every single bit on these Volkswagens. That's why I have such a, just kind of deep respect for these little things, because they were built for a purpose. They achieved that purpose, and then they overachieved that purpose. They were built as a normal family car, sedan, 3-seater, could fit about 5 people. And, 5 people if you really, really pushed it. 3 very tiny people in the back and 2 normal-sized people in the front. But these things are perfect for off-road. Since all of the weight is kind of shoved to the back with the motor, gives your back tires a lot more traction, and your front tires are able to float over the sand or the dunes or whatever you're planning on doing. Now, this thing does not have a roll cage in it. Unfortunately, I am planning on adding one, but the one setback of these cars is the structural rigidity of the frame. It's actually just a solid pan underneath. There is no frame under these vehicles, which allows the entire body, if you are not careful, to flex in either direction. Now, when you add a roll cage into it, it completely eliminates anything for the body to tweak or roll or twist in any way. Now, that's one of the downsides for a lot of these things, and why so many of them are just kind of parted out or scrapped or broken, is because the whole thing is just bent or crooked in one way or another, and at that point they're basically just kind of useless for most people. Now, I am unsure how you would straighten one out. I wish I'd know, because you could probably buy a whole bunch of them for cheap. But this... I lost my train of thought, man. That ADHD is killing me. But, no, this thing, freaking quick. Upgraded it from the 1600cc motor that the previous owner had put on it to, I think it was like a 1930 or something like that. And it runs like a champ. I swear this thing is faster than most new cars are. This thing is quick. I think 0 to 60 was in like maybe 9 seconds. It's really fast. It is actually kind of scary fast, but it's super well planted on the ground, since it basically has independent front suspension, swing axle, rear suspension. The swing axle I'm planning on changing out for IRS. I actually have a rear end of a Volkswagen out there for this vehicle, and get a bus transmission and such like that, just so you know everything's more durable, strong, make sure they can handle every little thing that I put at it. I haven't really had any problems with this vehicle except for a couple things, but that was from previous owners' issues. He was drifting around in a parking lot and he smashed, I think it was this wheel or it was the other one, but what ended up happening is it bent the actual drum for the brakes, which drives these tires, and it messed up the threads on the end of the actual axle shaft itself. And when that happened, you were unable to torque these down to, like, I think it was like the ridiculous 180 foot-pounds or something like that for these nuts that are huge that hold these wheels on. Here, let me just show you really quick. So that nut right here, the threads on this axle had this massive kind of gouge in them, so you couldn't really get anything onto it. Okay, good, that's not loose. I was had a moment there. If you're wondering why it looks like this, I haven't cleaned it, and an axle seal went out, and I've fixed that, but just haven't cleaned it. And this thing stripped out, and what ended up happening is it had too much play in the actual splines of the shaft, and when I went to gas it, the axle just spun and stripped out all of the splines inside this hub, so it just didn't move at all. And I had to figure that problem out. That was interesting and expensive. From there, the only other problems that I have had with this thing are boots on the axle. Specifically this one. This one always just splits open. No idea why. And it just, at this point, I've just left it. You know, like, if the transmission blows, it blows. I got like 2 other ones sitting around. So I'm fine with that. And it takes like maybe an hour to 2 hours to switch them out. But this thing has the best sound system I have ever witnessed in any... Oh yeah, it's broken. In any vehicle I've ever been in, right? 4 of these beautiful Sony Explodes, right? And then in the back, this is my edition. Big ass subwoofer. This thing, full everything, cost me about like 16 bucks. Because pawn shops are amazing. Now, what you're probably wondering now is how I came to own this car. It's still under my dad's name because I haven't paid him back for it, but still, this is technically my car. He doesn't drive it. He's too big for it. My dad was just perusing Craigslist, and he remembered that I was like, I really want a Volkswagen Baja. Those things are so cool. I love them. I want to drive one around. I want to just hoon around in it. And he found one for about $2,200. And this was back before everything just inflated out of craziness and price. He found one, haggled the guy down to about $1,800, and we bought the car. Absolutely immaculate. It drove perfect. Brakes were a little wobbly because of the bent drum in the back. Everything worked. And we just drove around, did a few donuts in a lot, went and washed it, brought it home. 2 days later, we went to go register this thing. Now, I, being the not so fair-skinned man, actually very fair-skinned, and very, very pimply, I was at a dermatologist appointment. And I get a call from my dad, sitting there in the waiting room, and my heart just sank. He's like, all right, I took this to the DMV. When they rang up the VIN, it came flagged as a stolen vehicle. And I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to get my car. Everything's just done. Like, not going to get my first car. Super sad. Already had some fun memories in it. And they call the cops on my dad. My dad's sitting there at the DMV. And they're asking him all sorts of questions. And he's like, all right, I'll contact the previous owner. Contacts the previous owner. And we get everything figured out, thank God. So my dad almost got arrested for this car, which would have been a very interesting story, but still. This thing has definitely had an interesting life, to say the least. And I'm pretty sure the reason why it's a Baja right now is because it got stolen at some point. It actually just ended up, they probably smashed it a couple times, and that's what ended up happening. Oh, here's that. I'm trying to find the lady gave my dad a business card for where's it at? I have no idea if I still have it or not. It'd be hilarious if I did, because I would love that. Now, I went on a bit of a tangent here looking for stuff in my glove box. I unfortunately was not able to find that little business card, but it was kind of funny because it was a business card from the police department themselves, from the lady that was trying to arrest my dad. More dang. But, now this thing has, it's had a life, to say the least. It is certainly, it's been through the ringer a few times. I need to find my freaking ashtray. I lost that. And I need to get everything freaking hooked up in this thing, because there's no lights, no registration, brakes are wobbly. Throttle's really, really touchy. I need to figure that out. It's got a bunch of blow-by. Front fender needs to be reattached. I'm probably going to put the old fenders back on it. New wiper blades, new front tires, which I already have, I need to put on. Damn, this is starting to sound like a project. My dad did say I was going to spend more time under it than I was going to be behind the wheel, which was to be expected, but still, my main goal is to make it so that I can spend more time in it than more time under it. And that's my hope. Sheesh, we still got gas. Oh yeah, I filled it up yesterday. But yeah, no, this thing is freaking awesome. As you can tell, I got a new boot, because they keep breaking. So That should be fun. Oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? It's freaking raining right now. Of course I had to ask somebody for help for something, but they can't come. Okay. That's better. Absolutely nothing has changed. Yay! Once again, I don't know what I'm doing, so this is going to take me a while. You know what? I'm going to go grab my wiring harness sheet really quick. Disappointed? It's a little chilly right now. All I could find some corrugated tubing and the antenna wire. I have no idea where in the heck my wiring paper went, but it's gone. Poop. Ooh, what's in here? Nothing important. That's what's in there. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of various Volkswagen things sitting in here. So yeah. Probably be up and down a lot. Oh God. Alright. Time to get back in the rain. It's a little wet outside. Why can't I just have little gremlins come and fix everything I break? A man can dream. Sorry that this video has just kind of been all over the place. This is a last second decision that I decided to do before work. I only got a couple things working. Hopefully I'm going to get some help with some friends, because whenever there's somebody else around, I'm able to keep a level head for the most part. Because all that I do is I get distracted very, very quickly. I made a list of all the stuff that I still need to do. Albeit it's a decently long list. You probably can't even see it, honestly. I've got a blue marker. It's just... yeah, there's a bit of a list. I still have turn signals, brake lights, gauges, subwoofer, hazards, horn, and running lights to do. And then all the other miscellaneous stuff that's not wiring. I've got an idle bolt that I need to replace because mine was too short. I've got to put the gas tank hold downs back on, attach the fenders, attach the hood, put on the rear bumper, put it back in the back seat, muffler springs, oil filter, driver's side lock, and a driver's side transmission boot. Well, obviously a few of those can be waived for a little bit. I do want to put that transmission boot back on there, just so I can fill it back up with gear oil and not worry about the transmission blowing up, because even though I've got two more sitting around, they're expensive, so I don't want to break that. The idle bolt's very, very, very important because, well, it's not even going to turn on right now. Here, look, watch this. Get my big old meaty hands in there, but it just... it just does that. There's no... it won't idle, is what I'm trying to say. So, got to get all that stuff buttoned up. The idle bolt's supposed to go right down here. It goes through this little bracket, and it'll run off of that. I got that fat-ass subwoofer in the back that I still have to wire up. But, yeah, it's all in a day's work. Unfortunately, I have to go to work, so today's the end of episode 1 of I have no freaking idea how many, until this thing is up and running and I got my first car back to its former glory. This has been Burnt Clutch Garage. Like, subscribe, do whatever you feel like. Comment, share the video, whatever the algorithm likes. I don't know. But, yeah, you guys have a good day.